Hello everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video. In this one I'm going to be sharing with you a really simple way to make a cutout page in your art journal. Now this project will scale up or down depending on the size of journal you're working in. The one I'm working in is a 6-inch square white creative journal from Natalie May Scrapbooking and Uniquely Creative. So I'm just going to map out one side of a heart, the right hand side of a heart shape on the right hand page of my journal, and then I'm going to cut this out through 2 pages. You can cut out just using scissors. For this it is fairly straightforward, and then I am going to add on the collage paper into the centre of the heart. Not those bits that you can see there. I think I must have decided not to throw those away. So I'm going to start working on the background first. This is the bit that will be visible partly once the journal is open and you're looking at the centre heart pages. You'll be able to see a bit of the background. So I'm going to start off by using Sapphire as the colour at the top of my page. And then I'm going to pull that down into Watery. So the pages in this journal really don't need a great deal of gesso, unless of course you are definitely going to go in with reductive stenciling as your first layer. And then I would say it's worth adding a bit of white or clear gesso to your background just to help that oh my gosh, technique is the word I'm after here. That technique worked really nicely. So here I'm not washing my brush, I'm going straight in with water, and you can see I'm just allowing those colours to mix a little bit, keeping my brush strokes all going in the same direction. I kind of like that flow, sort of pointing down the page. Yeah, just pulling that colour on and letting the colours do their thing. Okay, so next it's time for some stenciling. So all the stencils I'm using are from Natalie May Scrapbooking. Some are ones that I've designed and some are ones that Nat and Kasha have designed. Here I am using Watery to go over the dark sapphire colour. These paints are Dina Wakley Media paints as well. My favourite really to use, I do love them. I'm adding a little bit of alphabety, texty background here, just pushing that dark sapphire colour away a little bit. And then I'm going in with some smaller dots and adding some of those, and I think this looks like white. So I'm just kind of bringing a bit more contrast to that background as well. So this is also a stencil from Nat, and I'm just going in and adding some hearts into my background, and I'm going to add those using raspberry, mustard and iris onto my background, just to add some little pops of colour. And then here I am just doing some kind of hanging lines as if some of the hearts are dangling from the top of the page. And I'm just picking some of those out to just give them a little outline, just to make those kind of stand forward a little bit. I don't know really why I did this, but I think it's a really cool effect and it looks really nice. And it works nicely on the background as well. So there's a little bit of interest going on there, but it isn't going to detract from the focal point on the heart. Okay, so now it's time to start working on the focal point of my journal page. This is the cutout heart. You can see it is a little bit smaller than the pages behind. I like that because it means I can kind of glimpse at those colours behind the heart as well. I'm going to add my focal point into the centre of my page. Quite often when I'm adding focal points across the middle of my page, I'd be a little bit careful about having the fold in the centre down the face, but here I wanted this image to be smack bang in the middle. Not often something that I do, to be fair, but I think it works really well. Then I've gone around his head with some mustard, the colour, not the condiment, almost like creating a sort of halo of colour around him. Then I'm going to go in with turquoise and kind of follow that same sort of pattern. And I'm going to do that with the other colours that I add onto my background as well. So raspberry and iris are also going to feature. So I'm also echoing the kind of colour choices on my focal page that I have in my background as well. So then here I'm going to use a little bit of Tangelo with a blending foam, and I'm just going to pull a little bit of that over those colours in the background. So the background is completely dry. Otherwise, the turquoise and the iris would make a kind of browny colour, but I do like that they give that little bit of extra warmth. And there is something really pretty about orange with purple and pink. I don't know what it is, but I love it. I've even found that I have a bit of that colour theme going on in my garden this year. A little bit of an obsession I've got at the moment. Then I needed some contrast on here, so I'm going in with some white and I'm just going to add a few larger hearts to this page. a little bit of stamping using text and dots. I've also added an outline to the heart in the centre, and I do go on to add an outline to the back pages as well, but I do that with a white Posca pen. So this is kind of, I'm in the finishing off touches now of my journal page, and then I'm going to be thinking about adding words in a minute. So of course I've got to use my dots, just mapping out where it's going to go. And I'm kind of starting to play with using different styles of writing in my journals now too. So this is going to be quite a sort of slopey style. Lots of thinking going on before I commit. I think the trick with this kind of writing is once you start, keep that flow. Try and keep all your letters slanting the same way. And then I'm just going to go and add a little bit more depth, or maybe go over those letters and just make them stand out a little bit more. The pen that I'm using is from Artex. It is a black paint pen. Sorry, that's my head making it go out of focus. And then just adding a little bit of white stamping to the background of the heart, because the back of the heart rather, that's like kind of the way that I finish off the back of my cutout pages. It doesn't really need too much nonsense going on there. There's quite a lot going on the pages already. So this is a really, really simple cutout page that you can have a go at. Look at those beautiful colours, aren't they pretty? So grab yourself a journal. This project will scale up or down for any size journal, and have a play with making a heart cutout in the centre of your art journal. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon.